Hey YouTube, it's Frisky Dingo here, getting back to you guys with another reaction slash review video. Today's review slash reaction video, we're looking at Summer Games Fest. Summer Games Fest is a annual conference held by game developers of all different backgrounds, basically presenting new games that we're going to see in the 2021 calendar year. Basically, well, yeah, 2020, 2021, 2022 calendar year. We had quite a few developers show up. I mean, honestly, from my point of view, the one thing, everyone else, including myself, was looking for was the Elden Ring trailer. We didn't get that, unfortunately. We just got a day for when the date for when the game comes out. But other than that, overall, I would say it was I would have to say under the bar. I don't feel as though the industry is moving forward in a very comfortable space. A lot of the games that we saw at these presentations for the last 2 years have been all FPS. And I just think that at this point, the FPS drama is the FPS genre is kind of like taking its toll already, even with Call of Duty, Warzone, mimicking Battle Royale, to now, we're having Valorant, Apex, we still got Titanfall. There's so many other various first-person shooters that are coming out. And I just honestly thought I was going to be able to see a little bit more flexibility with the games that were being presented. In my personal belief, do I think that the industry can do better moving forward? Of course. There has to be, I think, a broader selection in genre. Not this vast disparity between indie games and AAA studio games. I think that's where one of the biggest components come from. The being able to sell AAA studio games and indie games right next to each other. That's what these kind of developer conferences are really made for, because if you allowed, the regular developer to do it, as we see with PlayStation, you don't get that many indie games put forward, but you'll get a lot of AAA games, and vice versa when you're working with conferences. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, I was just hoping that we'll be able to see a little bit more in the sense of creativity. There was a few games there that kind of piqued my interest. I was hoping to see next year. I know that Ash game was pretty cool. The Vampire game was nice to look at. Rocket League announcement, Fast 7 was pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, even with the first-person shooting games, they looked very much the same. I'm seeing a lot of Left 4 Dead clones. So I'm not really happy with that. I was just overall hoping that we would get, something new, something fresh, something to look forward to. Me personally, I'm definitely looking forward to Elden Rings. Elden Rings, Batman Gotham Knights are two of the top games I'm definitely looking for the 2021 run. But like I said, I was just hoping, we just get a little bit more diversity in the sense of games, maybe some ingenuity going on. I don't know. I just feel as though developers are all banking on the first-person shooter experience, which is kind of leaving the industry in a hard spot. I mean, we have so many first-person shooters that are doing successful. We have so many third-person shooters doing successful, even if you drop Fortnite right into the mix of that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully the next Summer Games Fest will get something a little bit better. I enjoyed the little Jeff Goldblum skit. Jurassic Park looked very underwhelming, unfortunately. And I think a lot. I don't want to say this, but these type of conferences leave a bad taste in my mouth now when I watch them. Because back in the day, most of these developers, they will present something and it had some type of polish to it, some type of ingenuity that you would come to these conferences and be ready to play the game. And now I kind of feel as though developers are using these type of conferences or these type of events to basically push together a demo product and see how the industry reacts to it. With creation, that kind of, not kind of, but that definitely distills creativity. Being afraid of putting out a product, even though the public opinion is strong, that stifles creativity in so many ways. And I do think that that's what's happening now. That's why we're seeing so many first person shooters. So hopefully will we get to see something new? I mean, yeah, I really hope. And I, look at everything that we see in the gaming industry, and I hope that developers can get together and be able to provide a better experience in the sense, because watching first person shooters back to back to back is kind of ridiculous at this point. And I hope that, these game directors can get together and probably start developing games that look a little bit more polished, release something that fans actually want to see, because a lot of these games just look like a beta version, and then they're going to release upon that. And I think it's kind of, honestly, it's funny to see that Overwatch was there in presentation, but ironically, I would have to say Overwatch is one of the biggest proponents on why this industry is doing what it does, and that exactly is not being able to push out a game in its full $60 worth. Overwatch is a perfect example where it pretty much looked like it's been in beta mode for about 6 years now, and now they're dropping Overwatch 2, which is a complete updated version of that. And I honestly don't think that's fair to the fans. I think the fans deserve a fully polished game at release, because that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for a game that needs to be slowly updated through a 6-year period process and then finally fully realized after an entire team development switch, game director is gone. Now you just have a new person moving the storyline, the multiplayer, everything together. So Overwatch, in my opinion, has to be one of the biggest disasters in video game release. But just to see Overwatch game director be there and only present character models just furthers the point of exactly that Overwatch is possibly one of the biggest failures of marketing ability wise and selling ability wise. It's been one of the biggest failures, and I think it's bad for the industry. Once again, it's really bad for the industry because it sets a precedent. So hopefully, like I said, with these next up and coming events, I don't know how E3 is going to happen. I don't know how PAX is going to happen, but hopefully we'll find out. A lot of these game conferences are still very much successful, but in my opinion, I think when developers like Blizzard spend 10 minutes just to show a character model, it's kind of very weird, and it kind of wastes the space for other developers who try extremely hard to get their product out there with a full release product and not get any recognition. So do I think that the industry should take a note from this? Yes, I definitely do. I hope some change comes, and we're gonna keep on looking out for video game news. Once again, I enjoy video games very much. For Summer Games Fest, I was hoping to get a little bit excited for a game, but even with the Kojima Death Stranding director's cut, it was very underwhelming. So that's all I could really say on it. I wasn't really excited for any games that were coming out. Honestly, Fortnite is the only game right now that has me excited. Besides Fortnite, there's Doom. I'm extremely lovable Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, Doom 3 fan. So the Doom Eternal DLCs have kept me through. Fortnite's battle passes have kept me up. What else video games? There's a few other games out there that definitely, Forza Horizon, which came out on system about three years ago. There's a few other games that have definitely kept me up, but this year I have not felt the need to go ahead and purchase a game. So, like I said, I hope that they could just work better on markability for games, so that people can actually get hyped like we used to. We used to take these conferences very seriously. We used to get high-end products that people actually couldn't wait for. Now it's like a testing tube to see if the audience is going to react well to it. And I think that's bringing down the entire industry as a whole. And I don't think it's going to get any better from here, but hopefully I'm wrong. We're going to keep looking out. You know me. I'm on all of the top gaming news. And if anything else comes up on my timeline, I'm definitely going to review it and we're going to talk about it. So I'll see you guys in the next one.